Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to r/Tales. And for the second time this week, I'm doing something slightly different. I'm taking a whole bunch of different subreddits like TalesFromYouserver, TalesFromRetail, and TalesFromTechSupport and combining them into one video because it just takes way too long to get some good stories from one of the subreddits. But all these stories are great, so let's not waste another second and get straight into this first one from r/TalesFromYouserver by user/EvenReptorisnakey. I used to work for a dog-friendly patio restaurant that serves pizza and sandwiches. It's a small, cozy, little spot in the neighborhood, good for lunch breaks from work and evening drinks to catch up with friends. The afternoon between, however, is almost always dead between those two times. Needless to say, with a small restaurant and light and trimmed staff, the dead zone was usually ran by the owner, who was, and probably still is, a massive butthole. He took over around 1:30, cutting all the servers and bartenders when it slowed down. Except for one. That server left when the last table was gone, meaning that you could leave if no one else came in after your table left at 2. Or you could be stuck till past when the night shift came in if you had campers. I liked the extra money, so I never really complained about staying after. With only one exception, which is where this story begins. It was a fairly busy lunch shift that went smoothly. No mess-ups whatsoever. Decent tips were made, and it was time to decide who got cut. Like I said, I usually don't mind being last cut, other than it meant working with the owner, which is always stressful. He knew nothing about the service industry or food in general, but insisted he did, and usually got in the way. Messing things up, then blaming us, or me in this story, for the mistakes. His manic, aggressive energy alone could ruin a whole shift. The two girls that were cut first began their shift side work, and I kept buzzing around my last few tables. A couple, late 20s, early 30s, an older gentleman and his son, regulars whom I love. A small family, and outside on the patio was a lady and her tiny terrier mix puppy, not a stressful set of people. I was a well-oiled machine, getting things in place efficiently in my own time and way. Everything was timed out perfectly to dovetail. Then I walk in on the window to see O rearranging and grabbing food before I could stop him. Hey, oh, I got it, those don't... Well, obviously you don't. God, do I have to hold your hand? He took out things in the wrong order from how the young couple wanted it. He brought things that dad and son didn't need and were confused because they specifically said they didn't need it. They never do. O gets flustered easily, not good for someone in the service industry, and began yelling at me loudly in front of customers, blaming it all on me. I didn't even argue. I grabbed the order for the lady on the patio and took it out. Asked if she needed anything else, she didn't. But her dog escaped her lap and followed me to the door. He's not allowed inside, so I stopped him gently and herded him back to his mama. Wrong move, I guess. Oh, from across our small restaurant, in front of all our customers. Loudly. What the hell are you doing out there? You have people here waiting for you. They weren't. And you're out there effing around with a dog? Me rushing back to keep him from yelling more. I'm sorry, the dog almost got in. Whatever, OP, go print out your frickin' checks. After all of that, I passed out all the checks, quietly apologizing for O's behavior. I received hushed apologies back as they handed me their cards. All my guests signed their checks and left. I bussed the tables and went to enter the tips and finally close out at 20 minutes till evening shift. My regulars tipped the normal 20% they always do, but the family and lady with the dog tipped closer to 30%. But best of all, the young couple who had front row seats on this show, $30 tip on a $24 bill. And on the back of a receipt, sorry you have to deal with your boss. I kept that slip of paper in my wallet for years. Sometimes your boss being a butthole can turn out well for you. Unfortunately, that's a rare occurrence. I hope OP working there wasn't too bad. And here's our next post from r/TalesFromTechSupport, submitted by user/Syllabub91. When I moved in my old apartment, I got new internet. Nice. I was vacuuming and noticed that my router was blinking wild and there was no signal for internet. I checked my phone and computer and, well, no internet. I checked the box, turning it off and on again, the whole deal. I thought I was good with that stuff. I phoned tech support and was a little annoyed but calm. They said something was wrong and they would send someone. The next day, a guy from support came to look at it. I was stating that nothing works, blah blah, and he takes a look. The tech support guy takes one look. It isn't plugged in. What? It blinks. Yeah, but it isn't plugged in at the internet outlet. What? The tech support guy puts in the cable. Everything works. Me, awkward silence. You know we have to charge you because it wasn't an emergency? Me, nearly crying of embarrassment. Yes, I recently moved. Is it much? The tech support guy, thinking shortly, sighs. The cable was broken, okay? I changed it, you don't have to pay. Me, really crying of embarrassment. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I nearly died inside. I think the story he'll tell everyone from now on was pay enough. Yeah, I was stupid and annoyed everyone of tech support. I'm sorry. Most of you guys do a great job. Have a nice day. And it's so nice seeing a post from the other side, just a nice breath of fresh air among all these techies complaining, someone who actually realized their own mistake. And here's our next post, also from r/talesfromtechsupport, submitted by user/wizardling. About 14 years ago, an older, non-techie couple were about to move to a nicer house within a small country town. I live in a nearby city where they used to live before they retired to the country, which is how they know me, and asked for my advice regarding their computer setup, which would have one computer near a pre-existing phone jack for their ADSL modem / 4-port router at the time that they already owned, and another across the other side of the house, with several thick walls in between. Well, I figured the right Wi-Fi setup would do the trick. Since the couple were having their new home renovated anyway, I suggested having the electricians run network cables between the two locations, using the easily available ceiling cavity, and to the intended location of their home entertainment setup as well while they're at it. Wired is, in my opinion, always faster, more reliable, cheaper, and easier if you're renovating or building anyway. Fast forward to after renovations and they've moved in. I visit to set up networking between their computers. Except, I can't locate any of the expected network jacks. I asked the couple, which involved explaining what I meant again. I told them it looked like a larger phone jack. The gentleman takes me over to the actual phone jack and points at that. I tell him that's a phone jack, and I explain yet again what a network jack is and looks like. So he takes me back over to the very same phone jack and points at it once more. Rinse, wash, repeat this farce a third time. The lady then gets cranky with the gentleman and a small argument ensues between them, in front of me. I sense this kind of thing has happened many times before. They're so casual about it. Long story short, it turned out not only were no network jacks ever put in, but no network cabling was run either. And the gentleman seemed to suggest he'd paid the electricians for something he hadn't gotten. Though, given his confusion, who knows what he told the electricians. I ended up networking their computers with Wi-Fi after all, so for several times the price they paid or would have paid the electricians for a simple cable run and terminations. I did briefly consider Ethernet over Powerline, but the cost was going to come out about the same, and I knew of some regular visitors to their home who wouldn't mind having a Wi-Fi network to use while staying. But I will never understand people who repeat the same action right after they're told, no, that's not it. And yep, those people annoy me as well. Like, if I've told you that's not right, don't just do the same thing, it makes no sense. And now we're returning back to r/talesfromyouserver with this post by user/there4now. I went on a first date with a guy to a French restaurant. We sit down and he tells me, I'm going to order in French. I literally say, please don't. The poor waitress comes over and he asks this lady in English if she spoke French. She said, no, sorry, and asked us what we wanted to drink. This man still starts to ask her questions on the menu and drinks in French. The lady is getting flustered as it's Friday night, and honestly, I'm sure she didn't get paid enough for that trash. She responded, I'm sorry, I don't speak French. And he started speaking it louder and slower. He finally relents and then points to whatever he wants and orders. I ordered in English like a rational human. When she leaves, I tell him to please stop and leave her be, and he responds, no, she shouldn't work here if she can't speak the language. "Sir, this is Washington, D.C. I'm sure she just wants to pay her bills." Every time the lady came, he spoke to her in French. He took 5 times longer to get some simple stuff done. He then grabs the bill at the end and tips her $5 on a $90 dinner. I left a $10 bill, all I had in cash for her, but sis deserved a good raise. I've never in my life been so annoyed, so I know she was too. If only they were allowed to curse. And I've always wondered what it must feel like to sit next to someone awful at a restaurant as they're doing some weird thing, and I guess now we know. It just feels really bad and you can't really get out of it. And here's our next post by user/IBuyTrashyCars. "I just got home. It's 2 AM. It's been 3 back-to-back-to-back days and nights of a 3 goddamn hour wait for a table. From open to close. What the F? I really just got a vent. I don't know what to say at this point. The owner of the restaurant I work at, hugely popular seafood joint in the area, well known, did a live TV spot on the V-Day morning news, showcasing all our food and specials, drinks, and even a frickin' Elvis impersonator join him and try all the foods, cakes, and etc. Now, I naively thought, it's just a small TV spot, it'll bring business in, but won't be a major influx of guests. Nothing the restaurant isn't used to seeing. Oh my frickin' god, how wrong was I? We served over 4,000. 4 frickin' thousand people in one day. Servers left and right were doing 1 to 2k in sales for the night shift, 6k plus for doubles. Yo, when I tell you I've never seen a restaurant that busy in my life, I mean it. We had people forming lines in every possible lane they could see. Lines going out the doors and wrapping around the building, customers overflowing into the kitchen behind the bar. You all ever seen those videos of guys who go caving through super tight caves? Where they gotta push air out to make their chests just a tiny bit smaller to get through? That's how it felt for us that night. Except we've got trays full of 30-ounce margaritas and boiling hot soups right over these beautiful couples' heads. And of course, nobody wants to frickin' move when they're in our way, cause F you. But whatever. Oh yeah, the king went ahead and played a live show in our bar that night too. So yeah, nobody got out till about 2 hours past close that night. I guess we all underestimated the power of doing a live TV spot in a densely populated area. Who the F watches morning cable TV these days anyway? Because Saturday was the exact same, just no Elvis. We did have a live band though, and I walked out with $250. Once again, nobody left till about an hour past close. And then there was Sunday. Sunday! It's ground-pounding, heart-stopping, quadruple seating mayhem, and it never frickin' ended. 2+ hour waits all day today. We literally couldn't see our front doors until about 9 PM, 1 hour before close. We ran out of everything. By 5 PM, we ran out of sugar. So sorry y'all. No more artery-clogging sweet tea. By 6 PM, we ran out of lemons. By 6:30 PM, we ran out of straws. Straws! Then came the big boxes for the take-home entrees. Then came the small boxes. Then came the huge boxes meant only for giant takeout or catering orders. Oh, did I mention that our fully stocked bar ran out so much liquor that you'd get better drink service by that point from the little cart they pass drinks out from on a flight? Look, I really love the money as much as the next guy, but god damn it, not even the $300 from today can stop me from crying and laughing at the same time while typing this all out. Curled in a ball on my bed. I can't think anymore. I don't want to move. I don't want to speak. I don't know what the F I want anymore besides 48 hours of uninterrupted sleep. But I know I frickin' got through it. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, I guess. Wow, that sounds crazy, but 3 hours? Who would wait 3 hours to eat at a restaurant? Come back next week, guys, the food will still be the same. But with that said, guys, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for Reddit videos every second day. But with that said, that is it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.